Howdy, I'm Lee Wilson, and this is TGO Wyoming. And today we're going to take a look at the new Nitecore SRT9. This is a dual 18650 powered 2150 lumen beast of a flashlight. I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm going to show you guys why I like this thing.
Alright, so let's take a look at some of the main features of this light. It is a good sized light. It is not a small handheld pocket light. This is a full size flashlight. And I like it that way, honestly, a lot. The body is die-cast aluminum, and the entire thing works as a heatsink. It also has these really nice heatsink fins right here around the bezel, and those work exceptionally well. I've run this at a full 2,150 lumens, the other night, and it never got too hot to handle. So obviously something is working here with the heat sinks and the die-cast aluminum body. Has very interesting and nice kind of grenade style knurling here on the sides. I really like that. It's a good design feature, grips well on the hand. It is a traditional click on click off tail cap with momentary. You can just kind of push that on, or you can click it on. Now speaking of on, you can actually click this thing on and have it sitting in standby. When it's in standby, you're going to get a little blue blinking light, which also acts as a battery indicator. So as your batteries are running down, that blue light will blink faster and faster and let you know that you need to charge your batteries up. Now the great thing about this thing is the SRT, the smart ring tacticalness of this. Alright, so this ring right here is what determines our usage modes. So we can go all the way to our full 2150 lumens. Wow, really just screw everything up there. And one click more is going to turn us into strobe mode. Now from lowest, you have a detent in there, right? So it locks into standby when you get there. And you can get just past that detent, just barely get any light output, right? And you can run it all the way up to full power. And then it's going to, as the detent, it stops there at full power, and then you have to push beyond that to go into strobe. This allows you to really finely control how much light you're actually getting out of this, which I really like. There's no buttons to click. It's just twist and adjust. Need a tiny bit of light, need a lot of light. And you can just rotate back and forth. Now if we twist the opposite direction, counterclockwise, we go into the UV light mode. Now the UV light on this is not real bright. We get a lot of light here at the desk, but it works, and in very dark conditions it works really, really well. It's not a huge output for UV, but I don't need a huge output for UV. Now the lights, the extra LEDs that give us all of our other colors, are actually inside the bezel, and the bezel has a very nice orange peel effect to it, and it gives you good throw and good beam focus while having enough diffusion to give you a wide angle area, or a wide area of usable light. However, the LEDs for the other colors are sitting inside the bezel. Now you think that might give you a little bit of distortion on your main beam, but Nitecore's done a really good job designing this, and you get a really good focused beam with even spill, even with having those little LEDs. Now the catch-22 here is that when we turn on these LEDs, so we have our UV, our red, our green, our blue, you are going to see a little bit of pattern diffusion between these because the LEDs are in a different spot. They're not perfectly focused in the center. Not a big deal in my opinion. Now the main LED is a Cree XHP50, and it is that's one heck of an LED. It's just capable of cranking out an obscene amount of light, which, I mean, that's the whole point of this flashlight. This whole point of this illumination tool is to kick out a ton of light. So it does the job really well, and I like it for that. These little extra lights, these are just bonus for me. I mean, I'd be happy if this thing were just the way it is, just with the the XP or XHP50. You have a pretty cool little extra mode. This is the police mode, where it alternates between blue and red lights. And then of course you have a beacon mode. Now, as an emergency light, the beacon mode I can see being very handy. It's always nice to have something like that, an SOS or a beacon on there. Now we can actually watch the pattern kind of switch around here. So you can see the change in the distortion on the mat as we switch through the colored LEDs. It's very evident in the police mode. We can probably ditch some light here. There we go. See? Blue, green, red. There, UV light. Once we're back in standby mode, we can just turn off the light. We can pop her open and take a look at the battery compartment. Now, this is a kind of an interesting setup here. You have two locking pins on either side of the light, right? And you have to depress both of these, and the whole tail cap will actually just pop right off. When we get the tail cap off, we have a little bit of circuitry in there and 4 screws holding the circuit board on, along with our negative spring there and our positive there. Because of these screws, you can't use flat top batteries such as the AWT 18650. So you have to use a button top battery. That's not a bad thing. The Nitecore batteries are pretty good and they're protected so they don't have an overcharge or over discharge issue. So we jump into the actual batteries themselves. My light came with some 3200 milliamp hour Nitecore branded protected batteries. 3.7 volts, 11.8 watt hours. Just good old 18650s. Haven't had a single issue with these batteries so far. As far as charging them goes, there is one kind of weird eccentricity of this light I've noticed, is that one battery likes going in a certain way better than the other, so sometimes the light doesn't fire. Now we can reinstall the batteries here real quick and make sure I actually got them in the right direction. This is a very stiff spring, so you kind of got to make sure you actually get this thing really cranked in there. My particular light likes to have to wobble around before that pin kicks in. So a little bit more work. Alright, so I did get the batteries in correctly. But for example, so this battery is positive, this battery is negative. We flip this one to the negative and this one to the positive side. Slap those back in there. We can put our tail cap back on and we have no light. A little bit weird. Don't know what's up with the batteries. I do believe it's a battery issue, but if we swap these again, take this one, put our negative or our positive here, and of course our negative up on this one, right? We can snap our tail light back on, and boom, we have light. So weird eccentricity of this particular light and battery combination. I don't have any more button top batteries to test this with. Everything else I use uses flat tops, and I don't have any little add-on buttons for my flat tops to see if these will work. So that's going to be a test for another day. But when the batteries are in there, whoa, we get light. So the last couple of times this has been working really well. I think as it wears in, there's a powder coat on this entire thing, so I think the powder coat is starting to wear in a little bit, and these are getting a little bit easier to manipulate. So there are no positive or negative markings on this battery compartment. So one of the things you just got to remember is negative towards spring. So you look down inside there, you can't really see. So we're going to have to go to another light. Alright, see? We got our spring in there. Another unknown light. We're not going to talk about that one, huh? Yeah. Negative to spring, positive to point. So that's the easiest way to remember it. Boom, clicked back in. And we have power. It's not a light, but that's alright. This is such a powerful light and such just amazing throw to it that I don't mind the size, I don't mind the weight, I know what I'm getting into, and you know, this thing works just exceptionally well. Has a maximum runtime, advertised runtime of 250 hours. That's pretty good. I imagine that is on our very lowest lumen setting, which is supposed to be 1 lumen. I don't have any way to test and see if it is 1 lumen or not, but it's pretty dim. So 250 hours, your maximum runtime. Of course, you can go to your red LED and have a ton of runtime because that just doesn't take much power. You have a max throw distance of 246 meters. Let's see, water resistant to 2 meters, or waterproof, I should say, to 2 meters. I believe that's IPX8 standard. And impact resistant to 1.5 meters. So I'm not really worried about dropping it. I know it's going to survive, and this thing's built like such a tank. I'm just not going to be concerned if I accidentally drop it in the dirt. Now, I'm really impressed with this whole smart ring idea. It's one of my favorite innovations in flashlights. It just makes it ridiculously easy to use. The fact that they put the detents in there makes me really happy because you can quite easily tell. For me, I just rotate clockwise until it clicks, and I go 1 back, and now I know that I'm at off. I can put this on, and I'll be in standby mode, and I know I've got the ability to control my power. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this. I think Nitecore did a heck of a job, and I've been really, really happy testing this and using it, and it's just been a pretty cool light. Now, let's see. The box here, pretty simple. Got some basic information on there. This has a 5-year warranty, so that is impressive for a light. But what do you get in the box? Well, there's containers for my batteries. Here is, of course, my Nitecore warranty card, and also comes with a lanyard and an extra tail cap button. So I normally don't put lanyards on my light, but this one's big enough that I probably could get away with it. Man, that bag that's difficult. Struggling with the bag. Let's see. Come on, maybe. Let's see if I can get this thing open. Hey, there it is. Okay, let's take a look at this lanyard. Haven't used it yet. Oh, there is an extra seal in there too. That's an extra battery compartment seal. Look at that. That is pretty awesome. Good on you, Nitecore. I didn't even notice that in there. Sweet. See, I'm discovering things. You guys are learning things. We're all learning together. That's a pretty decent little lanyard right there. Of course, that is easy to take care of. We'll just knock all that stuff off to the side here. We'll just throw that right through here. Alright. Pull it through, split it. You guys know how to put on a lanyard. This is not educational and or entertaining. Alright. There is our lanyard. Stick that around our wrist. We can secure it if we need to. Not going to be dropping this thing now. Nope. It's not going anywhere. Where's it going? Nowhere. Like I said, the pouch is pretty good. The light fits in there securely. Just kind of got to finagle it. I like going in bezel first. We can go ahead and turn that thing off. Stand by. Slap that in there. Boom. Got our lanyard. We're set to go. Overall, I'm really impressed with the SRT9 from Nitecore. I've been using their chargers for years. I have been through an i4, a D4, and I'm going to pick up one of their latest and greatest SC chargers, SC4 chargers, which is their supercharger, and never had an issue with any of my Nitecore stuff. Really appreciate Nitecore sending this to me to test and evaluate and share with you guys. You know, I'm looking forward to grabbing some more button top batteries to test and see whether or not that polarity thing is a battery issue or a light issue. I really think it's just a battery issue personally. But, you know, great quality product, nice company to deal with. The price is right a little over $100 street price. This is a lot of lumens for that kind of money. I mean, this is just so much light for that kind of money. So quality-wise, it's right up there with my offerings from Phoenix, the stream lights that I've used. It feels good in the hand. It really does. I'm thoroughly impressed with this little light. I'm going to continue to use it. It's going with me on some trips, and of course I'll get some good photos from that. You guys can check out the Instagram page and see what I come up with there using my SRT9. And it's just good times. So hopefully you guys have found this video entertaining and or educational. Hopefully it's given you a little bit of insight into the SRT9 and the awesomeness that is this light. I've had a great time using it. I've had a good time doing this video. Hopefully you guys, you know, feel that way too. So, well, maybe not using it, but you know what I mean. If you guys want to help support that channel, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. If you are already subscribed, thanks for being a subscriber. I appreciate it. And thanks for watching this video. I think that's about it for this evening. I'm going to go out and play with this light some more. Annoy the neighbors, scare small children, and call in some aliens. I think that's a good plan. Because after all, why else would we have our police mode? Go scare some people speeding down my street, right? Or not. No, don't do that. I'm not advocating anything illegal. But there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, stay safe, shoot straight, and I'll see you next time.